So, we just talked about some safe practices to maintain personal safety. Now, let's cover the knowledge and behaviors important to maintain workplace safety. These are hazard controls that not only look to protect the individual worker, but also the workforce as a whole. One way we communicate at the terminal is through the use of signs. If you take a look around, you'll notice there are signs all over the place. Every sign has a purpose. They're posted for your safety and convenience, so make sure you're alert to them. Signs are also posted to identify or point to locations and important information. Terminals are required to post signs indicating locations of first aid facilities and telephones. They are also required to post the closest emergency response services, including ambulance, hospital, fire, and police stations. Speaking of alarms, if this alarm were to go off, would you know what to do? Did you know that it's your responsibility to know the emergency alarms here at the waterfront? Alarms are a method of communication used to provide warnings necessary for emergency action and reaction time. Most alarms are sirens, flashing strobe lights, or verbal commands. If you don't know the emergency alarms at your port, find out. Don't second guess. We also have a work practice for safe communications that prohibits certain methods of communicating. While you're working on the waterfront, no headphones, cell phones, or audio-visual equipment is allowed. These items are extremely distracting, and we don't tolerate distraction here. Hand signals are also an important method of safe communication in the longshoring industry. Hand signals are especially useful when working in operations where workers cannot hear one another, such as crane operations.
There are 9 industry standard hand signals we use for communication between the operator of the crane's cab and the spotter or floor person. I'll show you a few of the basics. To signal hoist or raise, hold your forearm vertical with your forefinger pointing up. Move your hand in a small horizontal circle like this. The lower signal is similar, but with the forearm extended down. The finger is still pointing, but down this time, with the hand moving in a small horizontal circle. To signal bridge travel, extend your arm forward like this, with your hand open and slightly raised, making a pushing motion in the direction of travel. There are 2 types of stop hand signals. Stop as part of the normal operation, and stop as an emergency stop. It's important to have both to alert the operator if something is wrong. The first stop as part of the normal operation is like this. Arm extended with the palm down. Hold this position rigidly. The second type of stop hand signal should only be used if there is an emergency. If an emergency should occur, the operator must obey this signal when given by anyone present. So this is an important one for you to know. To signal an emergency stop, extend your arms with your palms down and move your hands rapidly to the left and right. And like I said, this is the only one that anyone can do to signal the operator to stop.
Great, thanks, John. So, you can't just use any old hand signals and be given the authority to direct a crane operator. Those are just a few of the hand signals used to direct cranes. There are several more. If you'll be directing cranes or similar equipment, you must receive training on the proper use of hand signals. If you witness or are a party involved in a safety incident, there are a few guidelines you should follow. First and foremost, report the incident to your supervisor immediately. Time is critical. If you need to, get help. Reporting safety events is a primary expectation of all employees here at the waterfront. Always report suspected safety hazards, incidents, and injuries. Never second guess yourself if an incident should be reported or not. Even near misses must be reported. You will never be scolded for reporting, but you can receive disciplinary action if you don't report. All incidents must be documented for insurance and workers' compensation claims purposes. When you go to alert your supervisor or to get help, leave things as they are unless there is an unsafe condition that could affect someone. Take mental notes of the scene and be prepared to help with the investigation. Bad weather doesn't stop the work of a longshoreman. Regardless of the temperature or the precipitation, you'll most likely be required to continue to perform your duties. Okay, we're almost done. Let's head to the main gate. Congratulations! You've completed your longshore safety awareness training. We've seen and experienced so many things today here on the waterfront. Now that you've finished your training successfully, you'll realize the importance of safety in your daily tasks and responsibilities. When you get to the waterfront, you'll recognize the different vessels and facilities that you see and know the different operations and jobs that go on here. When you see cargo that contains hazardous materials, you know the rules you should follow when handling such goods. You can maintain a clean work environment by using good housekeeping rules, and you should be able to recall the considerations you should take to use tools and equipment properly.